fellas. Hope you having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
Put it down! He's starting a fire! We need to get that from him. Put it down! Put it down! Put it down right now! Put it down! Fucking crap! Fucking crap! Right now! What are you doing?
He started the West Hills fire because that was started at a parking lot. He's going to come over here and light up this area.
Oh my gosh. No, this is crazy. I can't even believe it. Because I'm like
a 30-year-old guy, you know.
Crazy. Because I'm like, how does a fire jump literal cities?
I know. I can understand there, but all the way over
exactly.
to West Hills,
that doesn't make any sense. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for letting me know, guys.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Commander 21 Charles, Roger. Commander 21 Adam is transferring into command. Commander 21
Now the question is, were the other fires started the same way? And was this a coordinated attack? I'm happy they found him before he could do any more damage. Shout outs to the LAPD.
There are reports that the fire that we saw burning tonight in West Hills and Calabasas was started by a potential arsonist. Our colleague, also from KTVU, is there tonight talking about what he's seeing on the ground and what we've learned in terms of a potential crime scene now.
Zach Sauce, are you there? Can you hear us?
Okay.
Good on white. Good on white.
No, we hear him. Zach, are you there?
So Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm at the corner of Arcos and Galendo in the community of Woodland Hills. It is here that we understand a bizarre set of circumstances occurred around 4:30. It is our understanding that police have made an arrest of a suspected arsonist here in the community of Woodland Hills. A source in the police department telling us that this suspect may be tied to the potentially the Kenneth fire. So around 4:30, we are told by several neighbors here that there was a man riding around on his bicycle with a large blowtorch, apparently attempting to set numerous old Christmas trees on fire, garbage cans with wood debris on fire. He was riding around, and some neighbors that were just being very alert about this, certainly concerned seeing all of the fires in the community. You know, they knew that something was not right here. As he started to ride away, neighbors started to follow him. He eventually made his way up here to this intersection, and that is where a number of neighbors stepped in. Take a listen.
I had been sent a video by my daughter-in-law who lives on the first floor that an arrest was being made with a guy driving on a bicycle with a blowtorch. I didn't see this, but somebody across the street tracked down this guy through the neighborhood he was riding around and either tackled him, and my daughter-in-law called the police, or somebody called the police, called 911, and they sent loads of cop cars out.
How did your friend intervene?
Apparently he saw him walking, and a couple of his neighbors did as well. They called the cops right away.
Now that's great communication right there. A shout out to that neighborhood right there for looking out for one another and communicating, seeing something suspicious and taking action.
Y'all are not even gonna believe this. Not this, we'll come right back to that. And for reference, it's January 9th right now. So I saw this ad on my Facebook, and it seemed really, really weird to me. So I checked the comments, and this ad was initially posted 2 weeks ago. Something about it just looked really familiar, right? So I brushed it off, and then, a few hours later, this ad popped up for the same exact movie. So what I did, I checked the comments. Again, it was posted 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks before January 9th. Angel Studios says the apocalypse is just the beginning. Pretty crazy movie idea, right? This movie is actually about a detonation that took place in Los Angeles. Completely irrelevant and not related to right now. Just thought that was a very interesting movie. Now, completely unrelated back to the wildfire, they got a video of some dude throwing a huge gas tank out the window when there's fire going on. You think that's crazy? This is a random part of Hollywood that was not affected currently by the fire, and they're driving by and they see this random fire that's on a sidewalk randomly by itself. This video is insane. You can count the houses that were there because the chimneys are still standing up. And while this is going on, the administration comes out and says that they will pay 100% of everything that's happened. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But what about WNC?
I seen his footage. I'm happy that he was able to do something with it. Shout out to the Real Moon Henry. We've seen about 2 or 3 videos now with these people just doing crazy things. And that fire that was in front of that building while driving by like a scene out of a movie. What is even happening right now?
This stunning view takes you beyond the numbers and captures the absolute devastation from wildfires ravaging the Los Angeles area. Home after home after home, gone, with little left but the smoke rising from burned-out buildings. The ferocious winds that ignited 5 major fires were lighter on Thursday, but additional rounds of Santa Ana winds are possible from Thursday night into early next week, so the fire danger is not over. More than 2,000 structures have been destroyed, but that number is expected to increase. At least 5 people have died.
The fires tearing through LA right now aren't just the most destructive they've ever seen, but they're also setting the stage for an insurance crisis like California has never faced before. You see, since 1988, California lawmakers have tried to forcibly create affordable home insurance by imposing price controls on insurance companies. Obviously, the companies have never really liked this, but after the 2017 and 2018 mega fires, they just started saying screw it and leaving the state entirely. The ones that have stuck around, like State Farm and Allstate, now refuse to write new policies for people in California, and thousands of homeowners have had their policies cancelled in the months before the fires even started. Actor Rob Schneider took to X today to vent his anger, saying, "F you, State Farm. Screw you and all your phony commercials. You are a pile of crap for cancelling insurance policies of Californians. I will never use State Farm insurance ever again." So what happens if you struggle to get private insurance for your home? Well, nearly 500,000 Californians are now relying on the FAIR plan, the state's insurance of last resort. But here's the catch. FAIR isn't built for the kind of disaster happening right now. One expert estimates that just the Pacific Palisades alone could see $30 billion in losses. And you want to know how much in reserves the FAIR plan has? $385 million. Not even half of $1 billion. And if FAIR runs out of money, the fallout hits every Californian, because by law, private insurance companies would have to cover the shortfall. And you can bet they'll just pass down these costs to the policy holders, or, and this is even a worst case scenario, it becomes a mass exodus of private insurers leaving the state. We are not just watching the Hollywood Hills burn right now. We are watching California's financial landscape of home insurance burn right alongside it.
I think the craziest and the saddest part about the fires in Los Angeles is the timing of everything. A lot of people are saying they lost their insurance not too long before the fires. Just take a look at what James Woods says. He says in his neighborhood, about 4 months before the fire, one major insurance company canceled all the policies in his neighborhood. Just take a look at this picture of Pacific Palisades. Average cost of a home there is $3.4 million. Now, how about the timing of the cut of the fire department's budget? They cut more than $17.5 million about 7 months before these fires started from the fire department. And they were saying that they were severely understaffed and they didn't have enough resources to fight these fires. And then the million-dollar question comes around. How the heck did these fires even start? And there are hundreds of conspiracies circulating around social media. But I have a question, and a lot of people have this question too, because I saw a lot of videos saying the same thing. It got so hot that the people who abandoned their cars, it started melting. Like the metal started melting down the street, but the trees around these cars looked fine. How is that even possible?
He's my kind of guy. Shout out to You Won't Believe Me Official, asking $1 million question. How did those cars melt and trees are still standing up?
Right now we have a live picture. This is in Los Feliz. There's... You know, many people not dealing with the fires fires, are dealing with these power outages, and you can just kind of see, Sandra, there, the lights and blinking. Right, as we pan down, or Skyfox readjusts the shot right here, again, overhead Los Feliz, you saw those blinking lights along the hillside, but clearly just right here to take a look at this hour, 1:30, we're approaching, and yeah, a lot of communities without power at this point because of the situation dealing with fires. Are obviously the infrastructure is tapped right now, and people trying to get a handle of the weather situation, the resources that are available out there. Many communities not even in the fire zone.
We did get some footage that was sent to us by email, and there's some anomalies within this footage. And the first thing I want to show is this house that's burning from the inside first. And it looks like, the inside caught fire first and the outside looks still clean. I'm going to play it one more time. This looks like it's a microwave fire that caused, induction of electric eddy currents through the metals and the wiring in the house, which causes resistive heating and ignites the adjacent objects. So yeah, when you see a house burn from the inside out, that's not normal. All right, and then we have another clip from this guy who is in Pasadena, actually, and he will say how his house, or at least his roof, was fireproof.
Any kind of build, remodel, anything, the decisions after the decisions and the heart that goes into it.
Oh, the small details.
The details. You talked about the roofing. What about the roof? You said it was fireproof. So do you question what happened?
That's our question. How did it happen? Because the roof was tiled unless the fire came from the sides.
Yep. And
his car.
Yeah. So we also have a clip of his car, and I'm going to show that now. You can see that the front passenger rim has melted, and it's flowed about 4 feet there, and so that's at least 1,200 degrees. And the glass also appears to have been melted out of the car. I'm going to show it one more time so you can get a good look. That's at least 1,200 degrees for the rims and about 2,700 degrees for the windshield.
And what's different with this car versus the other cars that we're seeing in these suspicious fires is the hood is still there. A lot actually survive that normally doesn't, but Porsches have their engines in the back. But it didn't look the same as some of the other ones. Like the rims could melt at a fairly low temperature, but the engine looked like it still had a cover, and it looked like the engine was probably still there too. So
you could probably get the rims to melt naturally if you use the right kind of like pine or really high temperature wood, and you arranged it around the rim and you had some sort of like rocket stove type furnace setup. You could get the rims to melt that way. But you can see that driveway had almost no fuel laying around the tire, and the wheel, the rim, there wasn't enough fuel to burn that rim like it was.
I'll play it one more time. I didn't see this.
Yeah, so you see it was like in a driveway, and there's very, very little fuel within close proximity to the rim itself.
See, that's crazy, because I peeped that on a live feed as well. I seen that exact house, and I'm like, yo, it's burning from the inside. It just didn't make sense to me. I'm happy other people caught it.
It's spinning. The fuck is that? And then watch when I pan over here in a second, and this is all live screen footage from Los Angeles. The fuck is that shit? I'm spinning around, and then what the fuck? And then what the fuck is that shit, bro? What is that? It's spinning.
It's the Palisades. What am I doing here? That's the Palisades fire, I believe.
Emerging in 763.
Hold on a second here.
Hang on. Ops from Branch 5. Did you copy? Go ahead, Branch 5.
Yeah, here I got the map with the...
Call me up, not having good cell reception, so...
It's the Palisades.
That's one thing I like about this non-stop coverage. With the live streams going, people are able to catch things in real time and record it.
Can you guys explain something to me? How were the houses destroyed, but all of the fucking trees are intact? How? Could just somebody enlighten me? Intact. All those black spots, those are all trees. Intact. But the houses are gone. Trees. Intact. Intact trees. The trees are intact. But the houses are burned. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Guys, we gotta go up. Let's go up. Let's go up.
Turned around and there was a plume of smoke just like rolling over the mountain, like right behind us. It was probably only about 50 feet away from us, and we quickly like got our stuff, ran down from the rock. As we got to the bottom of the rock, we started to hear the fire crackle like right behind us. And the wind started to pick up really fast, and like we got our things and completely booked it as fast as we could away. And like the trail was a little bit difficult because we had to, in order to go down, we kind of had to go up towards the fire, and then, you know, properly run down the hill. It was terrifying to like feel like you're, you know, running for your life in a situation like that.
I'm happy they made it out. That was extremely terrifying. I couldn't imagine being in a situation like that while on a hike. My prayers to California.
I'm trying to figure out how to tell my 3-year-old that we don't have a home and we don't have a school. We don't even know where to go, what to do next. We're staying at a friend's house. You know, that's all short term. Just wanted to see if anything's left. We had everything, like the sentimental things. Like, my mom passed away. I had only a few things of hers left. My wedding dress, our wedding album. We left everything. Our albums, we have just whatever we're wearing. We're wearing the same thing for the last 2 days. My heart is broken.
It's heartbreaking. The number of kids who are affected just like this mother's daughter. It's crazy to see the neighborhood like that with the checkpoint. There's just some things money can't buy that has sentimental value. My hearts and prayers go out to California.
Take a look at this telegraph pole. Literally, it is hanging by a thread. The bottom completely burnt out. This is Altadena, where the Eaton fire came through, still under an evacuation order. But I want to show you some of the destruction that's been left in its wake. As you can see here, many, many vehicles like this one completely charred, with residents having to leave everything behind. In this direction here, these homes completely razed to the ground. You can see perhaps some hot spots still smouldering over my shoulder there, and then things that just show everyday life. Patio furniture, for example, where families, of course, would have sat together.
There are concerns out there that there's also been a water shortage. The fact is, the utilities understandably shut off power because they're worried the lines that they carry energy were going to be blown down and spark additional fires. But the Cal Fire, when it did that, it cut off the ability to generate pumping the water. That's what caused the lack of water in these hydrants. And so Cal Fire is bringing in generators to get these pumps up and working again so that there's no longer a shortage of water coming out of these hydrants.
The governor should resign. People are dead. Homes have burned. It is not your first rodeo. It is not. And when you know that you have a state that is prone to fire, and I'm going to give it to you, you've got global warming. You have literally a tinderbox. Isn't this the part where you take the highest taxed, highest income tax, highest sales tax, highest gas tax, and rebuild the infrastructure? I'm sorry. And the reason for me this is super serious is because this guy wants to be your president. This now goes from a California problem to a countrywide problem. Like, I get it, he's got good hair. We've got much bigger problems, okay?
Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the
Why
call.
is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
That's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you like this video, check out this one right here. Until next time.